Just bear with me just a minute, guys. It's just monitoring a trade right now. 1 second. Okay, so pop up one more time, then compound my shorts. Okay, I'll get some profits here. Half thinking if I should collapse the trade or not. Alright, we'll talk about it in a bit. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. What's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. Morning to all of you guys. It is a Friday. It is a Friday, is it today? Is it Friday or is it a Thursday? It's a Thursday, fucking hell. You know, I'm thinking it's a fucking Friday, man. How much would we wish it to be a Friday? I just feel like it's a fucking Friday, man. What's going on there, guys, man? Hope you guys doing well. So, it's a Thursday morning. It's cold and gloomy in the UK. Not used to this no more. I mean, we've had some really good weather over here. So, but nevertheless, you know, crypto's still doing its thing. Market's still doing its thing and whatnot. We'll go through the whole market itself. Today's going to be a bit of a different one as well. I'm thinking of actually implementing some more like altcoin charts in there. And we just run through a few things, like, and you guys can actually request a few things here and there, and we just jump straight into it as well. So, you know, shout out to all of you guys who jumped on the stream. Smash the likes, hit the subscribe button. If you're new to it and you don't know, like, you know, if you should subscribe, stick around, and I'll give you a reason why. So, who do we have here, man? We got Stalin, we got Derry, we got freaking Zennek, we got Rack, Rolf, Bastion, Krish, Fire Spirit, Cheesy Daily. We got GP, we got Trader Gains. What's going on morning, man? Is it rainy from Holland? Damn, man, it's rainy here as well. It's cold as hell. I got the window open. Don't know why. I think I'm smoking a bit as well. Fuck it, might as well smoke now, innit? Might as well smoke a cigarette and see what's going on. Fucking, so Ethereum. Well, what it was yesterday. We'll do something different. We'll do something different in today. Normally I start with Bitcoin. I want to start with Ethereum. The reason why I'm in that trade in Ethereum short, right? I've taken some profit at mid-range, and I'll bring it here. Is it cold? Is it? Fucking hell, it's a cold fucking day. I mean, it's supposed to be raining the whole day apparently. For the rest of the week, I think the summer's over and winter's coming, isn't it? That's what it is. Oh, did you guys check out the freaking Game of Thrones? What you call it? New trailer. That is fucking epic. Makes up for what happened. Any Game of Thrones fan here? Still watching that chart. I'll compound if I have to. You closed your ETH short a bit ago. Yeah, you know what? The thing is, like, okay, so let's just bring it up actually right now. We might as well just talk about ETH. Sorry, guys. So, another 5 minutes, and we've got 15 minutes. Yeah. Okay, we're playing back up now. So, yesterday I entered around here, right? I think it's about 1 o'clock. It was just before the dump. It was around here, this area here. This is where I entered, right? Reason why I entered, I mean, like, as you can see, price at the mid-range. This is Monday's high. I don't know why this is so thick. Yeah, this is Monday's high, and that's Monday's low, right? Can anyone see that? And that's the mid-range. And obviously, price, right, has been playing around here. And I was in that BTC long, that swing long. I closed the trade when we started breaking down this way around here. I was like, okay, it's not... The fuck? Piss off, innit? Price was... What's that there? There we go. Yeah, price was doing its thing, and you know, it was Ethereum, right? The fact that, like, it's just coming up to the mid-range, right? Like, it's the range high, the Monday's high, and it wasn't breaking above. It didn't look good. It was a valid short. I didn't hit the short itself. It's a valid short once we come around here. I mean, you could have taken the short over anywhere around here with a stop loss there, right? But I was like, maybe we get one more wick up and then come back down. It was a bit of a tricky one as well, because I was aiming for 24.3 on Bitcoin, but instead, like, it went to 24,000, and that was it. And started breaking down. I cut the trade on the 24. It's a 9-hour trade. We'll talk about that as well. I'm just talking about the Ethereum trade right now. Actually, Art saying, yesterday you said bull run in 2024. Why? Because of halving BTC in March 24. Yeah, that's right. That's the. I mean, look, right now we're in a bear market, right? So there's nothing we can do about it. So in the bear market, you just play the game on the downside. When we get some push up, right, it's perfectly normal. So let me just bring it back to, okay, we'll talk about Ethereum in a bit. Let's just go straight to BTC. So if I just hide all this shit, right, and we're gonna go on the daily, right, and can you guys see this price action over here? Let's just focus on this area, okay? So obviously, when was the bull run? We can just do that together, right? I mean, when was the halving? We'll do it together. We'll do it together right now. And for you guys who actually doesn't understand like the concept of like why the halving is bullish, blah blah blah, we can do it together. Okay, so Bitcoin halving, right? What is the Bitcoin halving? Okay, so let's go to Investopedia. I like Investopedia. So one of the most pivotal events on Bitcoin's blockchain is halving. It induces inflation in the cryptocurrency price by reducing the number of Bitcoin in circulation and increasing the demand for Bitcoin. Bitcoin halving has implications for all stakeholders within the Bitcoin ecosystem. So the takeaway is like the halving event is when the reward for mining Bitcoin transactions is cut in half, right? So so when you look at it this way, to mine Bitcoin, there's a transaction they've got to do. There's a fee, right? And when the halving event happens, right, there's the inflation goes up, right? Yeah, so inflation of the cryptocurrency price goes up and it reduces the number of Bitcoin in circulation. So like when the halving happens, the mining fee is cut in half. The event also cuts in half in Bitcoin's inflation rate and the rate at which new Bitcoin enters circulation. Previous halvings have correlated with intense boom and bust cycles. They have ended with higher prices than prior to the event. Bitcoin last halving was May 11, 2020, alright, around 3 p.m. Okay, May 11, 2020, and the reward was 6.25 BTC. I just want to know when the dates are. Alright, here you go. So, can you not see that? So the first halving was in 2013. Let me get the index chart. So we got the first halving at 2013. Oh, fuck it, I want to get the Bitcoin halving dates. So the first one, okay, so we got 28th, so we got November 2012, right? So November 2012, if we look at the chart, let's bring this up. Let me bring up BTC USD index. And just have a look. All we're going to pick out is the lows and the highs, right? Of each of the halvings, okay? So we're going back to 2012 now. Was it 2012? So look. Yeah, 2012, and then July 2016, okay? So let's do this. Going on. So let's write down. You know what? Let me write this down. I want to end up forgetting this. Sticky notes. So we got 20th. So we got November 2012, and we got July 2016, and we got May 2020, and the next one is in 2024. Okay, so these are the dates we're going to be looking at, and we're just going to focus on those ones just to get a rough idea how the price actually worked out. Okay, fucking hell, man, that's when Bitcoin was cheap as hell, isn't it? So we're looking at fucking. Let's go on the weekly. I think the weekly is much easier, isn't it? So November 2012, right? So November 2012, where was this? It was around here, okay? So the halving happened around here, okay? Approximately here, at this price, right? And that's the first point of the halving, okay? And it was about, what the price was actually. If you look at the price, it was approximately about $10, right? And obviously you can see how this halving happened from 10x, right? From $10 to $266. So that's a 26x, right? And then that's the high. That's the high there. And then you see the low that happened at $10. It never got retested there, right? So I mean, it's different. It's a different ball game now. I really think that Bitcoin is actually working more like traditional markets there, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So that's the first one, 26x, all good. The next one, and this is what I talked about yesterday. Like each halving, right? The price of the push on Bitcoin, right? It's not the same. It's getting lower. So we got the first one's at 26x. The next one was at July 2016. Obviously, it did this all run and shit like that, right? But you could say, actually, you know what, fuck it, you can say it's right here. Even though that's a pullback from $10 to the high was 1242. So that's about 124x. 124 fucking x, fucking hell. Then the next halving was in July 2016, isn't it? So July 2016 is about here, right? So let's just say this is it. Right here. Let's fucking zoom out. So first July 2016 is about $600, right? Let's put it $600 as the low, right? Obviously, it takes it comes back into this area of consolidation, right here. This area of consolidation. Obviously, from this side, retest it. Well, from this side itself, retest it, and off it goes. And as you can see, from $600, we went all the way to $20,000, right? Really parabolic, really parabolic. So if we work that out, how much is that in terms of gains? So $20,000 divided by how much? 600. That's a 33x. So we went from 124x to 33x. Okay, that's still good, but it's not as explosive. The next one was in May 2020. So May, the price was March, April, May. So let's say the price was at $8,000, right, at the halving. At $8,000 going all to, let's say that's the high, 69,000, isn't it? So again, the calculator. So good. 69,000 divided by 8,000. That's an 8x. You see how low that is now. The next one we might probably get a 5x on prices, isn't it? So if we go to like fucking, I don't know, if the low is in at 20,000 and do a 5x, that's 100k. So it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about in terms of like, in terms of when the next halving is, and the amount of gains that we have. And by the time we have in 2024, I think it's going to be a lot less. I think it's going to get really, really stingy. Is not the word. No. There's got to be buyers in there. There's going to be big buyers. You have to remember, there's more circulation of Bitcoin, right? So there's more on the blockchain because they've been mining it as well over time. And at the same time, there's going to be more people buying into it. But if you look at it this way, the market value, right? It's going high, but in terms of the potential gains, it's not as high as it was in the early stages as well, which makes sense, in it. So like, let's just say like you have a freaking you know, if you're making I don't know, like t-shirts, right? If you make it at home, right, you make it yourself and do that, the cost is a lot less. But obviously, as the demand goes a lot more higher, you're not gonna make it at home. So if you're selling 100 t-shirts in a month, you can make that at home. So you make 3 t-shirts a day. You cover the whole thing, and you're sending it out. But then it comes from 100 t-shirts, and you're doing it on your own. So you bear up, you know, you're managing as it is. Then it comes to like 1,000 t-shirts, and then you're like, hang on a second, I can't do 1,000 t-shirts in a month. So what do? You go to like a factory, and you're like, listen, right, I need these t-shirts printed out, blah blah. Your cost right now goes up because you're not doing it yourself. You're paying someone else to do it in a way. It's like business. It's the same similar principle as well. So instead of actually making like 90% profit, you're now making probably 60% profit. And as it grows, and then you start like say, you know what, from 1,000 t-shirts, and you're delivering it yourself, right? Still, the next one you're like, hang on a second, I'm getting like 20,000 t-shirts a day, getting that in a month itself. Now I'm getting across the world, like not just in my area kind of thing, right? In the country, I have to go the freaking shipping it and whatnot. Now your profit goes from 60% to like probably 30-40%. So similar principle, works the same way. But that's what in terms of what Bitcoin is, in terms of gains, you know, like it's gonna get less, and I think in the next run is gonna be the last run that we can actually make these 10x coins, these 100x. I mean, like the meme of 100x was coming from 2017. That was a lot of coins that was doing 100x. TRX, I remember I was fucking at the low. I was trading at the low, and it boomed up, did a 200x. That's TRX for you. But if you look at Solana was I remember when I was told about it was about $1, and it went to like $240, 240x. Do we get another one in the 2024? Don't know. It's kind of hard. But 2024, like, look, there's two ways of doing it, and like in my honest opinion, number one, you walk away and you never come back. For now, you just walk away. You come back in 2024 around May and you just buy in there, alright? Because it's the halving, right? And then you just play it for like 6 months, a year. Make sure you take your profits, right? Or you can actually stay in the bear market, and I think the bear market is where you make the most gains, and that's where people really do push themselves out there. You learn a lot because there's nothing to do. You're not sitting down looking at gains every day. Because like in the bull market, it's really good. You're fucking sitting down, you're chilling, you're taking a shit, right? You look at your phone when you're taking a shit, and you're like, hang on a second, I'm now up an extra like grand or so. But in bear market, if you're holding, you're like, fucking hang on a second, you take a shit, and now down a grand or so. So, like, if you stay in the bear market and you learn in the bear market as well, it prepares you for the run itself. And that's my honest opinion. I think that if you guys do that, I think you guys will be well. You guys will be fine. There's not much to worry about, but there's a lot of work to it. It's always going to be work. Nothing comes easy. You just got to grind to it as well, man. It's like fucking David Goggins said, who's going to carry the boats? It's got to be someone's going to carry it, right? You got to push yourself, and no matter how hard it is, no matter how shit it is, no matter how much, you know, failures you make out of it, and you're not understanding it. What I would say to you guys, fucking let's chat to you guys quickly. What I'd say to you guys is literally just take your time. Like, don't trade with money if you're not confident. Trade on paper. Paper trade. What is paper trading? Paper trading basically means is that you're looking at a chart. You got your stop loss, and you draw the whole freaking stop loss, and you take your profit and stuff like that. You draw your plan, and you make an idea. You write down, right, like where this is where you can enter. Is my stop losses here, and you monitor the trade. You practice as well. That's one way of actually paper. That's what paper trading is. Is that you're practicing without using any real money. Have a demo account if you need to have a demo account. It's not a problem. But that's what I would definitely recommend. We all want to make millionaires. We all want to make, you know, big gains, but it comes at a price. Trust me. Like 5 years into this game, it does come at a price. You like, I remember in 2018 bear market when I lost everything that I actually gained. I fucking just stuck at it, man. Stuck at it. I remember I used to play like COD like at night time just to chill out a little bit and take a paper trade. Or no, actually no, I was trading with real money at the time as well. I was trading with real money at the time, and no. When I joined SC's class, I was actually paper trading at the time. I really was paper trading. I paper traded for a long time actually. There was a lot of failures. Don't get me wrong. I think I've still got the fucking Word document of the Excel sheet actually of all the. There was more losses than gains. Trust me, there was a lot. I didn't get it at first. It took a little while, and the effort puts into it, man. The effort. You know what? The effort speaks for itself. That's the honest truth, right? Like, look, today you guys are all here. There's 32 people in the chat. Smash the fucking likes, man. And like today, the 32 people here are watching me and stuff like that, chat shit and whatnot. But you're seeing the product of the grind. You know, that's what it is. That's what you're seeing right now. But what people don't see, right, is that they don't see how much of a grind you go through. They don't see the pressure you go through, the stress you go through, the worry you go through, and all that. No one sees that shit. No one gives a shit about it. You know what I'm saying? But I do, innit? So which is why I'm making all these daily channels and shit like that, these daily fucking trades and whatever, to break things down, give you the education content, make your life easier. So you don't need to spend 5 years to get to my position. My plan is you get it in 2.5 years, or even less. That's the way I see it. We've got 2 years before the next bull run. If you guys can actually, you know, monitor a trade, understand a range, understand like blocks, understand FVGs, understand a bunch of stuff, right? Just like the concept of it, and recognize. You know, when you can recognize something, you know you're good, right? And when you can recognize that, happy days. That's when you're like, all right, cool. I can actually enter a trade. I can actually watch a trade. So when the bull run happens and you're buying all these altcoins, you're watching the coin. Don't fucking fall into the psychological aspect of actually like, yeah, this is gonna go up only. Fuck Twitter, fuck YouTube, fuck everything else. I mean, not fuck Twitter, fuck YouTube. What I mean is like, fuck everyone else, right? All these influencers, they're chatting shit. 99% of people don't know how to trade. What you see on Twitter, 99% of people don't know how to trade. Most of them are swing traders. That's what they are. Right? I'm not atting anyone. I'm not shouting like, you know, bullshitting on anyone. But that's the honest truth. Because you're gonna see all these people. It's like, yeah, buy this, buy that, and or they show a chart, and you look at the time frame. You're like, this is the 4 hours, mate. This is gonna take a fucking couple of days to fucking run this through, and I might get stopped out in a couple of days. You know what I mean. So if you can learn how to day trade, you can still make trades every day. There's a trade in every single fucking time frame. You know, that I did it. I think it's last week as well. I was trading on the 15 seconds. I made it what, a 1 hour or just over 1 hour, something like that. Something shit like that. But it's a 15 second. I can still do it. So I'm not saying you guys. I want you guys to all trade the 15 minutes, but I want you to understand day trades. I want you to understand scalping, and I want you to understand swing trades. Which is why I've done all three of them. If you think about it, right, the swing trade I've done on BTC is an education content right there for you. You can understand why I took, and I explained to you guys why I took the trade. I break my, I break it down. I take my time to say, yo, listen, guys, this is what the fuck's up, right? I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. Price is in a range. We're holding the mid range. We've done a couple of deviation on both sides, blah blah. Taking out stops X, Y, and Z. We're going to have a breakout. Why are we going to have a breakout? Because of market structure. Do you remember, guys, when I was talking about market structure and I kept talking about that? Up, down, up, down, up, down, lower highs. I kept saying that. We're looking for a lower high, lower high. Question is, are we in a lower high right now? That's a good point. We'll figure it out. We'll figure this out, and then I can show you confirmation where is the lower high. What would make me think, okay, time to fucking short the fuck out of it. Let's go, motherfuckers. Let's make some peace out of this shit. So that's the key. That's the really key. And so I show you the swing trades, and in the swing trades I was compounding. I talked briefly about compounding. I don't really want to talk too much about compounding because it becomes a high level kind of style of trading as well. The reason why it's high level is because if you don't know how to manage a compound and you don't know where your invalidation is, remember I talked about invalidation? I said there's two types. There's stop loss and invalidation. Invalidation is where you're wrong. When you are wrong, you have to flip your bias. That's it. When you're wrong, you flip your bias because that's the invalidation. The stop loss is there, right? If you get into a trade and you place a stop loss, you can get wicked out, but the trade can still go in the same direction, either up or down, whichever direction it was going, it can still go there. It's just that you entered in. It's just a stop run. It's a stop run, and it happens, right? That's what the thing is. Invalidation is the key. So when you now, if you can understand both invalidation, you can understand the stop loss, right? And you start implementing that into compounding, then it makes it a lot more simple. So I'll break that down with you guys, actually. If you guys are interested in how I actually figured out my invalidation when I was doing my swing trades, I'll do that if you guys want it. Just shout it out in the comments. Tell me what's up. And I'm happy to help you. And I do a lot of scalping, like nearly every day. I think I find a little scalp here and there. Well, not every day. Like every couple of days or so, I find a little scalp here and there because it just presents itself. And then I'll show you that. And that's education content. So if you just study that shit, right? It's all free. You're going to be fine. Trust me, you're going to be a lot better than I was back in fucking 2017 and even 2020, alright? So, that's what's going on. That's what everyone's saying. Mobsters from Singapore. Greetings, brother, from the UK. Hope you well. Send my love to you and your family, man. Love it apart from the series. Apart from the last series. What do you mean, trade? What are you talking about, trading gains? Which one that you don't love? Listening on, yeah, can't type. Oh shit, fire spit, be careful. Don't get in trouble, fam. What's up, G? You good, Amar? Nicholas is in the house, man. We got fucking Dean from Perth, man. What's going on, brother? It's fucking night time, isn't it? Couldn't sleep last night, watching the BTC price squeeze. Appreciate your heads up on of this coming. You're welcome, my brother. Next all-time high with the halving price. Let's see. Hey, dang. So Huss is new to the stream, and I just want to say I appreciate the knowledge you give out for free. You know what? It's my pleasure, my brother. Way's in the fucking house. We got. Did you see SC's latest tweet? Thoughts on this whole thing playing out as a deviation? What's his latest tweet? I haven't even checked it out. Okay, let's have a look together. Let's go. So if I type in SC, there we go. This one here, jokes aside, I know. Fuck all about the problem. Oh, this is VRA. Is that what you're talking about? The VRA. What else is he talking about? BTC not saying top is in, but if deviation. Yeah, I actually, that's the thing is, I agree with this. That's what I'm gonna teach. I'm gonna talk to you about. I actually totally. Ooh, you guys can't see it. Yeah, I agree with this. This I actually agree. If that's the chart you're talking about, I totally agree, and I think that's a very, very valid thing, and we'll talk about that as well. Which we're gonna break down. Don't worry about that. That's completely what we're gonna break down today. And he's talking about Ethereum. Again, ETHBTC, I agree with this. We'll talk about that as well. I totally agree with this. Coming up to here, potentially, but I'll start to look at first for me will be right this high. That's the first target, and then so it'd be more like breaking down, and then from there that's your confirmation. For example, working our way. Stops over here, stops over there, target over here. So target 1, target 2, target 3, and then break down to target 4. That's the way I'll be looking at it for. And that's the deeper pullback. And then what could happen with ETHBTC is something like this. So price coming back down. Oops. Let me get the line back up. That's the high there. So something like this. So price come back down, hold above it, then reclaim. Off we fucking go. Let's fucking send this off. That's what I'll be looking for. Something like that. Just drawing on these charts. But I agree with him. I totally agree with him. I don't disagree with him there. I think ETHBTC coming up a mid-range was very key to me. For me to cut all my alts. I've exited all my alts yesterday. Because I did say the target was at mid-range. And we hit mid-range and that was it. And I was like, well, it was too fucking fast. The move was too fucking fast. That's what it was. And when moves are moving too fast, that's not good. I like to see a nice little grind. You know when you get a grind, you know when you're with your girl, right? Sometimes you just want to go nice and slow, because it's just fucking effort to go to ram it in it, and you're just fucking just grinding it, and it's just nice and relaxed. You can breathe, and like hanging a fucking heart attack and shit. That's what I like to see, right? A nice grind up is good. When you get like when you get prices that goes, so like what I mean by grind, I mean like this. So you grind up. So you see the price just slowly grinds up, right? But it's still making higher highs, higher lows, right? You can take out a few stop runs, but it still grinds. That's what I like to see. What I don't fucking like to see is this. This is not fucking good, because this can happen. Bang! And off we go. That's what very possible, because you don't want to see these fast ass motherfucking wicks. Bear market still, remember, it's still bear market. Until we get a bear market, you know, this is what it is. And even in the bull market, like look in the bull market right here, mate. Fucking motherfucker. Let's put this over here. Look at this bull market here. Look at this fucking fastness over here. You think that's good? Bang, bang. You think that's good? That's not good. That's just not good at all. Like, that bull market is too explosive. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, it's great because everyone's making money, but you know how everyone fell into the trap? What you want to see is something like this. This is perfectly fine. You see this grind down, right? It's all like thingy. Planned selling. This is planned selling. Planned buying, right? Is when they push it up. So this you can clearly see it. Look at this, the change in momentum over here, and look how price just grinds. Well, it shoots back down, right? And it grinds, shoots back down, and it grinds back up, shoots back up, grinds back down, right? It just grinds all the way, and then it shoots back down. Then it grinds and consolidates in this area, and it's all a grind. And then this move here is like, yo, what the fuck is going on? You know, look how the momentum shifted completely from this. All this is just a grind, right? Well, not really. This bit here is a grind. This is the consolidation area, and then that's a fucking roller coaster of a ride. Like, you know when you get them hookers, right? You don't know what you in the back streets, isn't it? You just fucking, it's like, yeah, like you're worth $5 and you're asking for $5. Oh, let's do it, innit? But you don't know what kind of STDs or fucking yeast infection you're catching. It's one of those ones. That's what it is. That's what Bitcoin was in the bull run. So yeast infection, you don't know what you fucking catch in the back street or fucking, I don't know, Hollywood Boulevard or some shit. So I'm catching up with the fucking thingy. Chat one second. Let me see what's going on, because I've been chatting a bit. Yeah. Thoughts on this whole thing playing as deviation? Yeah, deviation I was saying is great. Maybe A0. A0 is one. It's a long-term coin I'm looking to buy. Well, I did buy in around 60 cents. I jumped out about 96 cents. It's like a 30% move there. It's not too bad. It's good for a bear market. It's really good actually. It's a spot buy. I think it's I don't know. I think last night I saw at 90 cents. So I was like, yeah, I'm quite happy I jumped out of there. But yeah, for 2024, I think that's possible. Like, as long as it continues, it's about watching what like who's building. So if you keep an eye on who's building and who's building legitimate shit, there's the one. They're the one. All right. Tom says I never learned as much as right now in the bear market, and thanks to your stream, really got better. You're welcome, my brother. Goggins is a sick guy of mine. I like watching him. You know, Jacko Willing. I never checked him out. I'll see him. Dean goes so true. The other day I went off to take a shower and come back 10 minutes later being down $500 is a lot of fun. Shit, man. Yeah, but that's true, man. You just gotta make the effort as well. Really appreciate your help. It's incredible. I love that. You know when you guys are so appreciative. That's the beauty about YouTube, man. I'm gonna lie. On Twitter, it's just evil, man. Everyone just wants to fucking cut your balls off and hang it around their fucking neck like a chain, as if it's a fucking medal or some shit, man. Can we get hello? So Luke saying hello, sir. Is there any chance that for a good price we can get a one-to-one service? I'd be able to. Bless you, Luke. At the moment, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not looking to do one-to-one service at the moment. It is looking for something like I'm expanding on in the coming weeks or months or so. But don't worry, when the time comes, we'll talk about that as well. But by all means, you can always like DM me on Twitter. For those who don't know what my Twitter is, it is right here. So if you go to Twitter, type in Trader Dank, that's it. At Trader Dank, that's me. Right? You can message me there. I do respond to most people there. But my DMs get full a lot. But yeah, you know what it is. It's compounding the same as adding more margin. Yeah, yeah, in a way. Basically, what compounding means is like you're bringing your stops up. So let's just say you're. I'm just doing a lot of Q&As here at the moment, very early, so it's not a problem. We can do that. Then we'll talk about that after. So like compounding is like, let's say you enter here, right? You enter here, right? And your stop loss is here. Price goes up, and you expect to take out these highs, for example. Price goes up, and once the market structure shifts, so you see how the market structure is broken over here. So you enter back here. Now you got a new invalidation. So your invalidation will be here. So then you brought your stop loss from this trade here into over here. So now you're in gains in it. So let's say you're risking $100, right? Let's just fucking do this clean, right? Let's say that you're risking $100, and this is and you're targeting there, right? You risked $100 over here, and you entered over here. Now that you've entered here again, because market structure has now changed, because it's shifted. Remember, lower highs is broken out, and then you're like, all right, so I enter there. My stop loss is, let's just say it's here. If I entered here, now I'm probably up by $150 or some shit like that. So then, if I add more position, now I'm gonna bring my risk back to $100. So then I add on a position from this area here. So instead of actually doing $100 risk, I'm like, hang on a second, I'm plus 150 over here. So if I do 150, and then I can risk the 150. So then even if it comes out to my stop loss, it's break even, it's zero. Or I can add another $100, that's 250. I can risk $250 and have my stop loss here and risk it up there. And that's my compounding. And compounding means basically I have more position on the trade, playing it upwards or downwards, whichever way you want to play. Okay, that's what compounding is. We'll do a tutorial on that, a video on that quite soon, just to focus on compounding, blah blah, and that should help you guys. Okay. Invalidation levels and entry triggers. So Bastion's asking like, this is fucking becoming a lesson. Let's do this fucking lessons now. All right, class, take out your fucking notebooks, right? Fucking put your gum in a fucking bin and mobile phones put away. Let's just fucking do this. No, so like invalidation, right? It's simply that this way. So let's just say, okay, we're gonna do it with the current time frame, the current price action, and we're just gonna talk about this. It's easier to say in hindsight. It is gonna be easier. The reason why is because the price has already been done, but the concept is still the same, right? So my range is this one, okay? Talked about it a few times. It's always gonna be like that, right? And then the mid range is approximately here, right? Let's do it on the daily. I think the daily makes more sense because the weekly just fucking blocks in it, because you can refine it into much more of a fucking jam shit in it. So that's the high over here. Right, oops. There, that's the high. The low is here. The 25% is about there. That's the 25%, and I think sorry, that's mid range. 25% is probably around here, and then the 75% is about there. Approximately there. Okay. So we got our range. That's our fucking range. Everyone understands? Everyone's comfortable with that? Fucking half hostels in the house as well, man. Fucking hell. Off to Fat Boyston, Brighton Beach. Shit, how's Brighton Beach at the moment? Is it cold over there? Nah, I don't use inverted charts. Connor's asking, do I use inverted charts? Nah. You can, but I don't. I mean, I'm very happy to actually deal with it as it comes. It's not a big deal for me, you know what I'm saying? But again, it comes down to practice. You practice it more and more. Like if inverted charts helps you, by all means do it. But don't forget, if you're inverting it and looking for a long, make sure you're long. If you're inverting it looking for a short, make sure you're short, okay? Nick's tattoo. What's going on? Alright then, cool. So we've got fucking critiques and hours. I haven't seen you for a while. How you doing? If you draw a range on the hourly and take a trade, would you look at the 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, etc. base you play solely on the hourly? So if I draw a range on the hourly, I look at the 15 minutes. The 15 minutes will give me my. If I get like a close on let's say if I'm longing, and first let's fucking talk about invalidation. We're going off script, right? Invalidations and stop losses, okay? So we're gonna do this lesson, right? So we got a price. Ignore all this shit here, right? Ignore everything that's you see over here. We're gonna play this level to level, right? So when price got up here, right? You're looking for, okay, if we're gonna be bullish, we need to reclaim this high. This is the initial high that pushed the market up. This is the initial high that came up. So if we're gonna be bullish, we need to get above it and hold above it and start making new higher highs, higher lows, right? So we make a new higher high, but price gets back below it and breaks down. Now you're like, how the fuck are you breaking down, motherfucker? So then you're like, alright then, from this high here, on this daily block here, I've got like the last high, this last high, what's happening? This now looks like a fucking, if you look at it this way, before you even draw that, it's a distribution. Why is it distribution? Because we have a stop loss, we have a stop run, and we break down, okay? So when you draw like a block, for example, you draw this block over here, and you're like, alright, cool. Price is in this area here. If we break down below it and find resistance, we'll look for to enter a trade. So the moment, like let's just say the moment we get down to here, right, to this candle here, and you enter around, let's say you enter below the mid-range, your invalidation is here. What is invalidation? Invalidation means that if price goes up, right, takes out the stop loss, you gotta ask yourself, the fuck you doing taking my stop loss out? Because that's my invalidation. And if my stop loss is taken out, that means when price comes back down to this block, it's gonna hold it as support, reclaim this, and off we fucking go. And this will be your confirmation to go higher. That's it. Invalidation means I gotta switch the fucking bias. I have to fucking switch the bias. If you're not switching bias on invalidation, you're gonna fucking stick a black man's dick up your fucking ass with no lube and shit, man. That's not nice. It hurts. I don't know, but I can imagine. But it's horrible, right? That's invalidation. So now I know my invalidation is here, right? So then I can play. So yeah, I was saying that. So once we get back up, hold above it, off we go. That's invalidation. My stop loss, for example, is, let's just say now I'm in this range, right? So all this is here. So you guys know what invalidation is. Does everyone understand that? Everyone with me? Invalidation means what? Can someone tell me in the chat what does invalidation mean? I want to make sure that someone gets it so we can actually move on. I ain't moving on until someone do it. How long you been in crypto? I've been in crypto for 5 years, man. 2017. September 2017 is my first time I bought my purchase. I bought the top in September. I bought the top. Because the next day he fucking dumped the Chinese FUD. That's it. Amar said he changed your bias, motherfuckers. So he's on it. He's on it. So that's when you change your bias, right? Because price, this is new highs over here. So you know what? This over here, again, same thing. Do one more example, right? Right. So let's just say fuck all this shit. We're gonna focus on this area here. Looking for invalidation. Price gets up, takes out the stop run. Stop run, and if you look at it this way, I'm just trying to zoom in. So this is the last high. So that's the price there. So this block, you see how the block is there? What I've highlighted is the high, the daily high that made that 2021 first quarter range high. Okay, so price comes down, whatever, it does its thing. What I'm looking for is for it to come back up, hold it as support, off we go, fuck we go. Right, cool. So price is grinding in this area. Yeah, no problem. We can do that. It's a range high and stuff like that. We can do whatever we want, but we're still looking for this area. This happen. So price finally does come up, takes out the stops over here, right? But instead, it comes back up, shoots back down, which is not good, which means that's distribution. As distribution is when we get a stop run, that's a stop run, this is a stop run. So now, if I'm looking to short, right, my confirmation of short is once we get back down below it, find resistance, break down, and off we go. My invalidation will be here, which means that if price were to come back down, right, and I'm targeting 25% mid-range, you know, the blah, 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 right, I'm working my way back down, okay? Now, but if for whatever reason price comes over here, holds back into it, get into this block, takes out this high, and holds this, right? So this high is now becomes support. Gotta change your fucking bias. Invalidation. Nicholas has got it. The pirate thing is blurry. It's probably is it blurry for everyone else? Because I think that might be your internet speed, to be honest. I'm guessing. What do you look out for to see distribution coming to an end. Not sure if that's a valid. What do you mean by that, Nick? Yeah, I think it's probably the internet speed that you've got right now that's making it a bit blurry. Yeah, it's most likely to be that. It's all clear. No. Yeah, it's just a connection. Are you on Wi-Fi or you're on data? If you're on Wi-Fi, it should be alright. I don't think it should be a problem. Data can be a bit of a problem. I've noticed that myself when I've actually like streamed like SE's show or someone else's show on my phone kind of thing when I'm out and about. And then if I get bad reception or poor connection or whatever, it happens to me. If we see distribution, we can see it lessening in strength. Is that not a sign of trend reversal? Yeah, that is pretty much, yeah. So if we see distribution, and distribution basically happens when we have a stop run. So when we get a fast stop run like this, right, or like this, right, you can see, like, even on this distribution, let me just fucking delete that shit. I'm just gonna zoom into it. I'm gonna bring it back up. Can you see, right? So the distribution here. It's right here. That's it. We have 1 candle, 2, 3, 4 days above the high. So even if you were to look for long, you're looking to hold it, right, and then come back up. You're still looking for that. The moment it gets back into the range, you're like, okay, that's definitely fucking distribution. Distribution only happens is when we have a stop run, come back down, and we're playing up, because we're distributing the price. And look how it is. We're making the market structure change right over here. Because once we have this high, so price is going low. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is the higher low, right? And then what happens next? We take this out. That's your confirmation market structure has shifted, right? That's your confirmation of a trend reversal there. The moment that thingy that this higher low has been taken out, we're like, all right, then we gotta be careful. We can only be we can only say we're bullish if we take out this high, right? Because then that was just a stop run. But instead, what happens is price comes up there and shoots back down, which makes the lower high. That's the lower low, and that's the lower high. Makes sense? So like in terms of like when you draw it with the come on, Billy. Fucking, I can't even say the word properly. When you draw it with the range, it makes sense, and you draw market structure, it makes sense. This is a fucking lesson, guys, man. Smash the likes, man. What's it? 25 Sud, you're amazing. Glad I discovered your channel. Hello, 25 Sud. Good to have you here. Do you trade imbalances? Nah. What the fuck is imbalances, bro? What do you mean by that, brother? Not blurry. Can change quality. Yeah. Oh, you could change the quality. Maybe like bring it 720p, but then that's actually asking for a high bandwidth. But everyone's saying that it was perfectly fine. Oh, it looks great now. Perfect. Good to hear. So what's going on? Hey may I ask what you use to draw on the charts? Always wanted to know. Which mean you mean like the tools that I'm using, this and the lines, like this kind of stuff? Is that what you're asking? That is literally an app, right? Shout out to fucking, there's 2 guys. There was one guy called Nabil on YouTube, and there's another guy called Goku-san on Twitter. They told me about this tool. It's called Epic Pen. So it literally draws. You can change the colors and shit. You can do whatever you want to fucking do in it. It literally draws on top of this. So when the thing is, the only downside is when you move it around, it's stuck on the screen. Can you see? But it's really like, I actually use this for trading now. You know, like, you know how I do this. I've got all these bullshit lines. Sometimes I make it simplified, and you guys can actually understand and get a better lesson. Does that make sense there? So that's what I'm using. I fucking love it, to be honest, in my opinion. What the fuck am I doing? Let me remove all this stuff. Oh fuck! I fucked that up. Alright, so that's invalidation. FEG. Yeah, sometimes I do use FEGs, but like I'm not an expert on it. I'm not like great on it as well. I'm good at it, but like the fair value gaps, it's something that I do use. Like when I monitor a trade, I look at where price can come up to. There's a fair value gap, so that means the price doesn't come up in there. And I'm looking for it to break down from here, or you know, that's what I'm looking for. So there's like, that's become a little bit more complex as well. But like, I like to keep it nice and simple for everyone else, so they can understand what's going on, and that the concept, right? As long as you understand the concept, then you can learn to expand. Not a problem there. Just a place price return to capture. Yeah, that's right. That's what FEG is. Sorry to double ask, bro. If you draw a range on the hourly and take a trade, would you look at the 15? Yeah, it's okay. I'll talk about the Ethereum trade in just a moment as well, and that will answer everything for you there. So yeah, Amal, Zach, what's going on? Zach Ross, are you Zach from fucking my cousin by any chance? You know, from fucking Wales. Are you that guy? I don't know why I'm thinking that Zach Ross is my cousin. I'll tell you about Zach, man. Dude, this guy, I remember him as a... Nah, you fucked it up, mate. I was going to tell you a story about you, man. But you're not that guy. Never mind, I'll tell you the story anyway. But yeah, he's a good lad, man. There's nothing much about him as well. Good kid. Handsome motherfucker he is as well. He's half Spanish, half Mauritian as well, innit? He's got that fucking caramel skin going on as well. I got that fucking brown chocolate skin. And he was like, he's 2 years younger than me. And I remember, like, he was a proper party animal and shit like that. Like, growing young. But obviously, you know, the guidance, he didn't really have much of the guidance and whatnot. So I went to a funeral about 2 months ago. And it's like an uncle that passed away. And he was there, bro. He was the most Muslim guy there, man. Fam, like, he came over, said salam to me, gave me a hug and everything like that. He was saying, inshallah, mashallah, and stuff like that. I'm like, yo. I'm like, Zach, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, what's going on in it? He's like, nothing much in it. I'm like, no. You're skipping a lot of shit here. What I'm talking about is like, who are you trying to fool? He looked at me, he laughed a bit. He's like, Habibi, this is me. I go, Habibi too, innit? I'm like, what's the girl's name? And he cracks up in it. And then he tells me the girl's name. I'm not gonna say it. And she's Arab in it. And like, but which is nice though. She was really, really beautiful that he's actually changed his life from what I remember him to what he is now. So fair play to the guy, man. Two ladies walking down the street. A gentleman walks up to them. Are you two ladies from England, Wales? They reply. He continues. Are you two Wales from England? That's fucked up. Dude, what a fucked up guy. I don't say Dank University. Dude, I would love to build a university. Or a school. Well, a school minimum. I like a primary school and a secondary school. Build a college and shit. We'll see how life goes on. But yeah, so that's invalidation. Fucking, let's talk about stop losses, right? So, fucking, let's get this back up. And then we're going to do the outlooks now, alright? So the views and shit like that, blah, blah, and look for trades. Because we're going to make some money in it. We all do. Right, so let's just say, let's draw this back up, right? I'm going to make this one a lot more simple. Less lines. I'm going to make that's the low, right? That's the same lines, nothing too spectacular. It's the same bullshit, okay? Let's just say now, right? So we're focusing on this area here, okay? We'll do two examples, right? So price, right? No, actually, no, fuck it, let's do it. So, motherfucker. So that's that there. 119 over here. Here, that's that. That's about the mid-range approximately, and that's approximately the mid-range, around that. Okay, now stop losses, right? Let's just say, so when you play over here, right, from the range high, wherever the high is, that's your invalidation, okay? We already talked about invalidation, we know what that is. If you guys are having trouble, please say so. We can go through it one more time, okay? Or just rewind it back just a couple of minutes ago. Probably be easy if you just rewind it back. But now you're like, alright, I missed all this move here. I missed this fucking move here. I'm now into this area here. So I'm now going to focus on two things, right? I'm focusing on literally... Yeah, I'm focusing on two things here. Price is capped within this range, right? From the high to the mid. And price is also capped between the mid to the 75% of the range. So that's what I'm looking for. Now, if I'm going to place a stop loss, right? Let's just say I like, you know, I see this as a stop run. I enter a trade over here, and I put a stop loss there. That's a stop loss because what can happen is if price were to do something like this, let's just delete this. There we go. So that's a stop loss. Now, if price were to do something like, fucking, let's remove that. So I enter over here, for example, just in this area here, and price comes back down to the mid-range. And I'm working my way level to level, right? But price comes back down, holds above it, stops me out one more time, bounces off this low over here, and breaks down. That means, as the price changes, I think it changes bias. Do you change bias because we take a stop run there? You wouldn't. The reason why is because that was a stop run. We just stop run this high over here where your invalidation is. So in the trending market, it's very easy. It's easy to play. The trending market is like what you have is like you have price goes up shoots up, and it doesn't retest this area. So you can play the breakout. So when you break out, like you can just play the breakout. Such a quick move, and you can play and you have your invalidate, you have your stop loss, right? And it will just keep going and shoots up, right? Sometimes doesn't have to retest this area here. Ideally, would like it, but trading market, it just goes up and up and up, or down and down and down. All right. So price didn't really visit this area here, but if price were to actually take out the stop over here, right, you wouldn't change bias. And that's what a stop loss is. A stop loss really comes down to you wouldn't change bias, you just got stopped out. Invalidation is when you get stopped out, start looking to change bias. That's all it is. It's really, really simple, really easy. Same thing here. We can do the same example, and we enter over here, right? So I think the yearly open was this one. I want to talk about the yearly open because that's where was a trade I actually missed out. I'm a bit gutted about it, but I missed it out. So it is what it is. I think the yearly open was here, that candle there. So the yearly open, let me show you the color so you guys can see. Yearly open was here. That's the yearly open. Okay, now you can see price shoots back down, comes to the mid-range, tags the yearly open, right, and then holds above it, gets back below. Let's just say you entered here and you had a stop loss there, right? Now if price decides to come back down here and there's one more run, like a distribution, you wouldn't change bias because that's just a stop run. It's just a stop run. It's not this is not an invalidation. You are not wrong by having a stop loss there, because you are right having a stop loss there, working our way down. Does that make sense? That's what a stop loss is. A stop loss is, well, obviously stop loss means that you stops the trade when you get cut out. But the terminology, that the idea behind the two concepts of invalidation and a stop right, a stop loss, is two different things. Invalidation basically means that when you are stopped out, you gotta change bias. You gotta look at changing bias. You gotta watch, because in case it's a swing failure, because price, let's say that this is an invalidation, right? If price stops me out and comes back down and does break down, it is, then okay, it's a stop run. There's nothing you can do. But most likely, when you got invalidation, more probable the more probable idea is when you get stopped out on an invalidation, fucking change your fucking bias, man. That's all it is. Simple as that. Everyone gets it. You close ETH short from last night, bro? No, not necessarily. I think I'm. So look, what's ETH saying? What's it? I took profits and I closed a bit more, but I'm still in the shorts. Let me just bring this up. I just need to, because I have to monitor the trade. ETH USDT now. But let's come back here. That's fine. That's okay. We'll talk about ETH in a bit. That's not a big deal. I've got a little bit running. Just in case we come back down. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for us to come back down the mid range, and then I'll look to compound the motherfucker over here. But we'll talk about that. Not a big deal. But I'm in good profit as well, and my stops are break even. So if I get stopped, I get stopped. I don't really give a shit. But I cut the trade over here. I had a TP here, and that was 50% of the trade. It was cut, and I cut it a little bit more over here. I cut another 25%. I got 25% of the trade running through. So it's still a good trade. I mean, like, I think the move was like a 1 hour. Oh, it was fucking crazy. Okay, so that's so everyone gets it. Looking to short ETH. Everyone gets the invalidation, right? And I'm going to talk about the fucking the trade that I've got over here and how I entered the trade, which would explain Amar's question. Anyone got any questions, actually, to be honest, before we move on? Because I don't want to move on before if you guys are not understanding. This is lesson in it. So like, you know how school is, like you always get like a couple of kids who doesn't understand and they're too scared to speak and they say like, yeah, I don't get it, and then the teacher moves on, but it's never understood it. But I want each and one of you guys here to tell me that you got it. If you don't, we'll break it down again. You're welcome, Mama. Captain Cruz said, Denk, how did you build your confidence to hold for higher R's? It's the principle of ranges, you know. When you understand the principle of ranges, you've just got to believe in yourself, man. Look, belief in yourself is one thing. Fucking another educational talk, right? Let's just fucking motivation this motherfucker out here. 1 second there. So put this over here. So, like confidence, right? It's like, look right now, alright? Look at my face. You can clearly see that I haven't done my beard properly, right? There's like hair growing over here, a bit on the mustache, and it's growing over there. It's not clean, right? So most people on Twitter, on YouTube, right, they would like to have a haircut every time they go on a stream. They will speak a certain way. They'll have an etiquette a certain way. They have this kind of fucking fake persona. I don't give a flying fuck about any of that shit, right? Honestly, I don't give a shit. I think I'm gonna get stopped out of this trade, to be honest, in a bit. But we'll see. If I get stopped out, I'll be happy to jump back in. I'm in break even. Yeah, so raise your hands if you've got any questions. Bless you. Yeah, confidence is like, so, but to jump on the stream itself, it requires some confidence. That's one thing. If you look at confidence again, to jump out the house, you know, combing your hair and whatnot, you look at your clothes, you see what clothes am I wearing, is this nice and whatever, that's confidence there. Trading is the same principle, it's the same principle. How do you get confidence? To build confidence, it comes from within you. If you're a confident person, right, I think majority of us are all men, right? Majority of us are all men here. I can say that because I know the fucking stats. There's like 5% of women that actually watches my stream. 95% of you guys are lads, right? So, like, you know how, like, you see a pretty girl and you want to fucking chat to her, but you don't because you're not confident enough? That's the problem, right? You just got to build it within yourself, right? Now, trading, right? But how do you build confidence? You build confidence by over time, by practice, by, you know, having in your head what chat up line you're gonna chat to her. You might say, it's like, you're not gonna go up to her and say, like, listen, if heaven has lost a fucking angel because it's right in front of me. You're not gonna say that, or did you break your wings on the way down? Like, you're not gonna say that shit. You're gonna come up with a slick line, like a proper slick line. Like, there's 20 alphabets, and oh no, I won't give you my lines. I'll give you another time. But anyway, so but you by practice, and when you get shut down a few times, right, from a few girls, right, like, let's say you speak to like 20 girls. On the 20th girl, he finally is a yes. It gives you the confidence in it. Trading's the same thing. So you take 20 trades, 19 of them are all fails. No fucking problem. Don't fucking get discouraged. If you get discouraged, that's you giving up. Giving up is for bitches, man. Oh, I don't mean to be disrespectful to women, but I mean, it's like, you're a straight up pussy if you do, right? You've just gotta get back up, grind on it, find out what you did wrong, what was price trying to say, where did price bounce off for you to get stopped out. And when it clicks in, it clicks in. So when you understand the ranges, for example, and you start doing level to level targets, that's when you can start going for higher R's. Right, that's one thing. And entries that to get a tight entry. Like yesterday, I got I did a dirty tight entry. Like fucking Ethereum was a dirty tight entry. Like if I show you this R, it's fucking crazy. Over one night, I went to bed. Like I saw it collapsing. Right, I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm good. I know mid range is coming. I go to bed. I had my take profit. I'm like, I'm good. Woke up, I saw my take profit hit. I see price consolidating. I'm like, motherfucker. Just before the stream, I cut a little bit more out, or just on the stream in the beginning. But you gotta think. If you compare yourself to me, right? I don't like doing this. This is bad. This is really bad. So don't take me wrong. But if you look at yourself, right? How many trades have you taken in the year? This year alone, you tell me. If you can say over 500, then we're on the same page. We're not the same page. We're in the same book, right? But if you're taking less than 500 trades, we're not on the same page. But you see the difference there. I've taken 500, but prior to this 500, I've taken thousands and thousands of trades. And that builds my confidence. So you just gotta keep at it, understand the odds. So like, once you understand my entry, I'll show you the entry that I've taken in Ethereum, and you'll be like, fuck, you know, it's simple, right? Because the way I like to do it is when I show you shit, I like to break it down, like dumb it down as much as possible. So even like the next man, like even Bob the Builder, can come and have a look and say, yo, I can be a trader too. But it does take work, because it's the same pattern over and over again. So let's talk about Ethereum. Yo, Vegeta's in the house. What's going on, man? Oh, you can't attend the stream. Oh, bless you, man. But yeah, you take care, man. I really appreciate that you coming on as well. Just show some love. I really appreciate that. So look, it's Ethereum right here. Where was my entry? I can tell you where my entry was, because it was on the fucking... I did tweet it out. My entry was at 15.23, okay? So we're going to use that, 15.23, right? Where was it? 15.23 was... I'm going to do fucking... Short position, 15.23 was a bit lower. It was a bit lower. Right. Here. I got the wick. My stop loss was here. My stop loss was here, and I played it all the way down there, right? It's a 1.8 hour trade over one night, right? And it's fucking stupid. And you're like, how did you do that, right? Everyone's wondering, how did I actually enter this trade? How did I make this 1.8 hour trade? Obviously, it's not 1.8 hour. I'm going to get stopped out in a moment. Is that break even? Not a big deal. Let me double check. Give me a second, guys. I just got to look at my own Delta Exchange. Shout out to Delta Exchange, man. If you guys want to use my affiliate link, it's in the description below. And that's where I do all my trades. So if I do charts. No, I didn't fucking move my stop loss, motherfucker. Let me move that. So go to ETH USDT. Charts. Sorry guys, I just got to monitor this. And bring this right over here. Cool. So if I get stopped out, I get stopped out in profit. I'm good. But I like to see a breakdown here. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So we're talking about how did I enter the trade, and we're going to answer Amar's question, right, on the 15 minutes and the 5 minutes, whatever, and all that stuff like that. So looking at the trade, right, I'm going to draw these lines quite clearly for you guys. Fucking 1 hour and we haven't even done the fucking breakdown. What the fuck, lads? We've got to do some work, fam. What the fuck? Alright, let's do this. We're going to focus on just this range here. The high to the mid, right? This is Monday's high, which is about here. And we're going to focus on the mid range, that's there, and the 25% of the range here. Okay? That's what we're focused on. Nothing else. I'm going to keep it nice and simple for you guys, and you guys can understand what's going on, and it will make a lot more sense once we do this, okay? And if you're new to here, just stick around a little bit longer, and you'll see why you should fucking subscribe. So look at price. Price is doing its thing, right? No problem. All happy days, right? It's doing its thing. Let's see. That's the 5 minutes. I need the 15 minutes because I was looking at the 15 minutes right over here. There we go. So I was looking at the 15 minutes, right? And price, what it was doing, right, is playing between this, the high to the mid-range on Mondays, right? Obviously, Bitcoin smashed above it, but it's just been choppy over here. I missed all this trade out over here, right? I had a few things to do. I missed the shorting opportunity here because I would have entered around probably. So you see how we got a breakdown over here. This, I probably would have entered somewhere in the candle over here. Was invalidation? My invalidation would be here. That's what I would say, because if price come back up here, it stops me out. I know there's a high over here. I mean, you can put a hard stop there. That's a hard stop there. I can say, yeah, that's invalidation there. I'll put my stop loss there, because price would stop me out, come back down and go a lot more lower. But what happened was, right, I missed all this trade, and I saw it come back down. I'm like, fuck, alright, cool. Not a problem. Let's see what happens there. And start playing around the mid-range between these 2 points, right? When it start playing between these 2 points, I'm like, alright then, let's just start working out what is going on and start understanding what is happening. Because the magnet in price, you have to look at this. The key word is magnet in price. The key phrase, sorry. Magnet in price. Where is the magnet in price? If we're below the mid-range, the magnet in price is going to be the 75% of the range and the mid-range. If you're above and holding above the mid-range, what's the magnet in price? 75% of the range and range high. Make sense? Vice versa. Magnet in price, where price is most likely going to go. Alright? Obviously, it could come up here and then break down, but you know we're going in this direction. You know we're going up. Right? So, start looking at this, right? I'm like, alright, we're now in this area here, right? Yeah, we're now in this area here. It's getting choppy over here. We now made a lower low, right? So, I can see price, two things, right? Number one was this. Price was doing this, right? That was number one, okay? Let me just zoom into this a bit so you guys can focus on this area. I haven't moved anything, it's still there. Number one, price was doing this, something like that, right? You can see if we break down, that'll be my confirmation, break down, maybe a retest, and break down, and off we go, right? So what I did, right, I started looking at this, start making out the blocks. I'm like, okay, so which area has there been resistance in? This is an area of resistance, can you see that? This high over here has caused resistance right there. You got stop run, resistance, and at the same time it's making lower highs. Okay, so like so this is potential that we can come back up there. But the fact that this wick over here didn't even test it out, we're now finding resistance somewhere else. Where's the resistance? I would say it's from this, and this is on the 15-minute time frame, right? I say it's from this. Now for me to be to actually enter the trade, the confirmation will be a breakdown, retest, and off we go. Look what happens. We break down here, the second candle's a retest, right? But I entered a lot more sharper. Why? Because I start looking at, if this was the lower high right over here, then I'm like, okay, so price is stuck within this range, right? We're below the mid-range between here. The mid-range getting capped from this candle itself. I'm like, all right, then cool. I'm gonna have a stop loss over there, right? I think I'm stop loss over there, and then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this down back over here. How do I enter the trade, right? I know from this area here, like I know a few things. It's all about story. I know already we're below the mid-range, so the magnet price has to be range low, right? We've come down here, we haven't tagged this mid-range, so it's gonna happen eventually. When it's gonna happen, I don't fucking know, but I'll play the game when it comes to. So, and I know that's number one. I know the magnet price is down here. I know we're making lower highs. I know we're finding resistance from this block here, and we're in this range over here. In this little range here, I know we're in there, in this block over here. I also know this is another range that we're having on an hourly. So now I'm like, okay, cool. I've got a lot of fucking stories to tell me what's going on. Let me go down a lower time frame, and I can make this work, right? So if I were to go on the 5 minutes, I don't know if this will work very well. Let's see. No, it doesn't work. Ah, yeah, it does. Yeah, there we go. You can see that. You see this fucking. Let me delete this. No. Ah, never mind. Doesn't fucking matter. But we're just focusing on this chart here. So we were saying that this high here is causes resistance, right? That was on the 15 minutes. You can see that. And then that's one thing. Fuck off. So let me just fucking delete this. I fucked up, didn't I? I already did fuck up. And we're going back down so I can look at. So I haven't been stopped down. I'm happy. Oh yeah. So we're saying. This is the 15-minute time frame, which is called resistance, and then we've got, and then we're talking about this range, right? So price is in this range. So if I draw this box over here, price is in this range, and you can see if I were to draw a line, right, the mid-range is approximately here, right? You can see roughly from the eye itself, that's approximately the mid-range, and it's making lower again on the smaller time frame. It's making lower lows, lower highs. So I enter the trade in. Right, wherever it was, 15, 20, whatever, I think it was around this wick over here. I entered this trade because we was like, okay, we're taking out this low here, and I was watching this. My stop, yeah, I think my stop loss was here. I can't remember where it was. I don't fucking know. I think it was there or some shit like that. And I see price come back into this area here. All it did, come back and retest, and off we go. I could then enter into this trade over here. I could actually compound in this area, and the moment we got back below it, I'm like, yeah, we're good. So that's how I enter the trade. So what I do is I make my plans on the 15 minutes or the hourly or whatever, and I step it down on the time frame to see where is my confirmation. Do you remember yesterday I was talking about a smash, like the candle needs to close. So you see how this candle closed within this box below this thingy, below this range? That's your confirmation to me. On the 5 minutes, I can put a stop loss over here, right? It's a stop loss. Remember, not only validation, it's a stop loss because price can come back into this box itself and take out this higher. It can do that. And break down and then do this. It can do whatever the fuck it wants to do, but we have to understand the concept. So this 5 minute candle here that was closed below, I'm like, that's good enough for me to to say that yeah, we're good. And once we close below here, right on the 5 minutes, I was like, you know what, time for bed. I'm like, I'm good, time for bed. And I literally went to bed. I had my stop loss. I had a TP 50% over here at the mid range. Happy days. Move on. Does that make sense, eh? Epic explanation, appreciate that. That 6 months 0 trades for me was just, you're a patient guy, you are. I'm glad you're taking some trades though. Pirate Explorer said, well guys, have a good day. It's always nice hearing your opinion. Oh yeah, take care. Speak to you soon then. Take care, Cryptique as well. And send my love to the family as well. So that was it. That really is how I play the game. Does that make sense, everyone? So now we're going to talk about Bitcoin now. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, see what's going on. What's Bitcoin? What is BE saying in it? Bitty. What the fuck am I calling it? Bitty. Let's go on the hourly. And let's bring up everything up and we can see what's going on. So look, you see what's happening now with Bitcoin. Okay? We talked about the range, right? We quickly do the view, right? This is literally it, right? So what it is, price has, what the fuck? Price has been consolidating in this area. That's consolidation, deviation, 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 but retest, breakout, That's the expansive move. We'll come into this block over here. This has its own range. That's why it's in red, right? Has its own range, and at the same time, oops, delete everything else. And at the same time, we got Monday's high, Monday's low, mid range. You can see the mid range is held as a deviation, and we shot back up, right? So now we're like, all right, then, it's looking bullish. Price obviously is going to retrace from over here. What's so important about this? This was, let's show you, daily, was previous consolidation from when we broke out all-time high. That's all I did. It's just this area here I've highlighted. It's a range band environment, and where we are right now, we are in a range band environment. Okay, you see this again? Look at this candle on the daily. You see how we closed below it? To me, that's bearish enough for me to wouldn't go lower, right? At least to all-time high, which is at like 20k, right? And that's another trade there. So that's on the daily, or you can even go on the 4 hours and have a look at it. On 4 hours, how does it look? Yeah, even on the 4 hours, yeah, same thing. 4 hours, we come back, we come and retest it. I bet you we'll retest the mid-range. Bob's your uncle, the fucking retest the mid-range. That's bearish as it is, right? Because it's come back down, come into the mid-range, and it's broken down, and off we go. Give me 1 second, guys. Hello? Hi there, this is Mr. Rossi. Hi, you right there? I'm not too bad. I can help today. Shit. Okay. That's another issue I gotta deal with. Do that after. Fuck it. I need to work that out later. Sorry, someone's just come up now. I'm not gonna figure out another thing. Never mind. Yeah. So we're talking about Bitcoin, right? So come to the mid-range, it breaks down, right? But which means that which means that this can be actually used for anything, right? So it can be used over here, and we're using the same thing here. We come to range high, we didn't retest range high, not a problem. Let's go to 1 hour, and I did say the plan was we come back down, right? We can play up here as long as we hold the mid range, right? Like the Monday's high, as long as we break above high, hold above this mid high, off we go. We can start targeting there, right? So we got a few ideas there. We know what's going on. We know that the Monday's high is actually Monday's high is actually acting as support right now. We just need some sort of confirmation for us to enter a trade. That's what it is, because you can see right here price is consolidating. Does everyone understand? Don't worry, Rahul. Good to have you here as well. RX, so do you have a certain percentage where you put a stop loss like 10%? Nah, I don't use percentage. I just look at price. I just look at price where it is. I don't use percentage. I think percentages for me it doesn't make sense, because price can do whatever it wants to do. You can stop me out over here, and if that's like, let's say that's like, I don't know, I don't understand percentage, to be honest. It's like wherever the candles highs and lows are, that's what I'll be placing my stop loss there. So yeah, so we're now in this critical area. Question is now, do we break up and hold above it, reclaim the mid range, and off we go? Target level to this area and then to this area, or do we do something like this? Do we break down and come back, and then we start coming over here? What's special about this orange line? That's the weekly range we talked about that we've been consolidating for so long. And what what it could be doing is something like this, and consolidation, break out, retest, a full retest, and then come back up and go up for expansion. So we don't know, we don't fucking know. We're just gonna play level to level. Okay, does that make sense, everyone? So now looking at Bitcoin, that's the view. Now looking at Bitcoin, looking for a trade. Now it gets a little bit tricky, and you gotta start being very, very like technical, right? So we've got a few things here, right? We've got a lot of lines here, and I'm going to make this nice and simple in just a second. Let's just try and get this out of that. Alright, cool. I think that should do. And I'm just going to make this nice and simple over here. So we got this high over here. We've got this mid-range over here. This mid-range over here. And then we've got this range low over here. Okay? Then we got Monday's high. Monday's high is over here. And we also got Monday's mid. At the same time, I'm going to go all the way across. You know what? Do it again. Let me just make. I want to get the chart nice and clean. Nice and clean. Right, so. Because we're going to do both the bullish and bearish scenario off this one single chart, okay? I'm just going to move myself right at the top corner. Right? Cool. And then just get this nice and clean there. Cool. Yeah, I think that will do. So we've got the blue box's range high. The blue box is mid-range. We discussed this already. Okay, we've got the range low. So price already, we can already focus that price is within this range. It's within this range. It's undeniably, you know, you can't argue with it. It's within this range. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we got Monday's high. So this is Monday. Oh, fuck off. This is Monday's high. This is Monday's mid. All right, we're just focusing on just mids, highs and mids. Okay. And then at the same time, we've got this level here, and that's the weekly range, right? That's weekly range high. Now, if we close everything off, oops, start looking at it, and we're like, all right, then cool. We now see what's going on, right? So we know we're trapped in this area here, right? So if you were to make it simple, right, and at the same time we find support over here, do I short or do I long, right? You can go along, but then I'd say I have to put a stop loss over here, right? A stop loss here because price can come back down and do something like this and go and go up higher. If I wanted to long, right, I need to see a few things, right? Number one, if you see this high over here, all we've done, right, if you look at it this way, we're finding resistance, right? We're finding resistance off this low, really, actually. That's the key, that's the SR. The SR is right here, which is making me think that we can go a lot more lower. So if price were to get back up and hold it, take out this high over here, I can play a trade up to from this area here. That'll be my confirmation. My stop loss is whatever the deviation is will be there to the mid range. Then once we hold above it, I can play to the next area of targets, which will be the 75% range. I would take out these stops there, come into this area here, and then up there. Alright, that's the range high. We break out, then we can play the breakout play, go to 26k, 28k. Okay? But we got some time there. It's a make or break. We're gonna watch this, right? That's the bullish scenario. We can have a bit of a pullback, which is not a problem, because we're bouncing off the fucking mid range, and we're finding resistance off here. Can you see it? The candle's now turning over. The fact that the candle's turning over means to me is that, like, okay, cool. We're gonna go. You know, we can come back down to this area because it's a range bound. This is all range bound now. Price is capped over here, so we can have a deeper pullback, and all this here is a thin move, really thin move, and I think that price can come back down, and whether it comes into this area, holds above it, and reclaims Monday's high. The moment we reclaim Monday's high, to me, that's the deviation done. Off we go to target 1, then target 2, right? That's it. That's as simple as that. That's the pullback scenario coming back deeper, right? But we have to enter the long, we have to reclaim Monday's high. Once we reclaim Monday's high, happy days, we go. Until we reclaim Monday's high, not looking good. Okay? Now that's the bullish scenario. The bearish scenario is like, okay, cool. Oh yeah, so if you look at this one as well, we're doing something like this. So we can come back down, hold above it. Again, same situation. The key is coming back. Whatever the deviation is, take out these stops over here. And then whatever the deviation is, reclaim Monday's high. Stop loss will be here. Play target 1 to target 2. Okay? To get these sides, I'd say I'll take the profits over here first as well before I even go to range high. Okay? Now, that's the bullish play. The bearish play is very simple. So let it do its thing, right? I won't take a short here. Why? Because this is Monday's high. It can still hold a support and come back up and hold a support and reclaim, and that will now be my trigger. So I'm looking for a bearish play. For me to be bearish, we need to start breaking down within Monday's high to Monday's mid. You understand? That's the play I'm going to be looking at level to level. and then we've got and also we've got the weekly range there. And I just said to you, this could be a breakout, retest off the mid range and go up higher. We don't know. We're gonna play it level to level. Okay. So what's going on, Jay? It's been a while, man. How you keeping, man? Take care, Nick. Good to see you as well, man. I'll see you tomorrow, brother. So now, if price were to come back down, lose this low here, this is now my confirmation, because you've got to ask yourself, what the fuck are you doing back in the range, right? Because we're in the range of Monday's range. We now have to play between the high to the mid, and I'll play it to level 1, right? Off this block over here, because that's the high over there. And then see if we can play it down to level 2, which is target 2, which is the weekly range high, going for mid range, and that'll be target 3. Whether we break below it and then go a lot more lower, we'll figure it out when the time comes, which is very possible. Then I'll be targeting the 25% of the range on Monday, which is about, I'll be targeting this area here. So if I draw this out, see this high here? They got liquidity right here. That'll be stops resting over here, come into this area, and then come into Monday's low. And then that's my short play back into this area. So I have a little bit of run over. We do something like this. This will then be my confirmation to enter the trade. That's my next target, and that's my next target. Okay, does that make sense? It's really, really simple. Nothing much to actually break down on BTC. That's really it. What happens next, whether it comes back down to Monday's, then what could also happen is something like this. So we could actually take out the liquidity on Monday, right, which is not a problem. Yeah, we could take out the liquidity on Monday, Monday's low, which is fuck off, on Monday's low. At the same time, what we could do is something like this. I wouldn't mind this. If it breaks down, take out liquidity, grinds back up. Once we reclaim the weekly range high, shows bullish market structure, off we go. Here we go. Then I'll be stepping into it as well, especially Monday's high, hold above it, get up to range high, right? Because then we're stepping into this range. Does that make sense? That's BTC really. Nothing much more to it than that really. So it's a bit of a tricky one if you ask me. It is a bit of a tricky one, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let me have a look at Ethereum. 1 second there, guys. Give me a second, I'm just looking at my trade for 1 moment. That's the thing, is when you're in trades, you've got to monitor it still. You can't just let it go and swing whatever he wants to fucking do, innit? So if we go to trade charts, give me a second, guys. No, market. Alright, we'll see what happens. I'll check this out in a bit. Put YouTube as well. Just to see how Ethereum does now right now, to be honest. Why Monday's range is so important? It's basically within the range. I discussed this yesterday. So you got Monday's range, right? Prices here. That's the beginning of the week, and then you also got the higher time frame above Monday's range is the weekly range. Above the weekly range, the price will be expansive. So then when you could be like that, and that's the whole weekly range there. But at the same time, if you play Monday's range, right? Obviously you've got the highs and the lows, right? And whichever direction it goes, you can play the expansive move. So that will be confirmation to play the expansive move throughout the week. Or if it was to break down, that will be the expansive move for us the rest of the week. So that's why Monday's range is really important as well. Well, to me, it's important. I like to play it as well, and it's easy to play because price. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum has been in Monday's range for the whole week. You know, well, we're now 4 days in, and it hasn't done anything else. You know what I'm saying? So, delete that. Look at Ethereum. We'll talk about Ethereum, the view itself. Nothing too spectacular at the moment. 1 hour. If I look at this was the range bound environment that price has been, right? You see, price has actually been in this range bound environment, right, for about 4 weeks or so. What we had, consolidation, breakout, now look at the retest, expansion, okay? Retest can come up to here, retest can come into here, retest can be anywhere, right, wherever the fuck he wants to do. But for the time being, we play it as it is, right? So the thing is, we haven't smashed above the, we haven't retested this range high. It's just a thin move right here. You can see it's a really thin move as well. So, and this has been just such a grind. It's been a grind and it's grinding back down. So, oops. So we'll see what happens, right? And so at the moment, because we're in Monday's range, we focus on Monday's range, right? So all I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight a few things, right? This is what I'm going to highlight. So I'm going to highlight Monday's range, which is this one of it, and just put more fucking data in. No, yeah, just focus on this. We're just going to focus on this area here, nice and simple, right? Nothing too complicated. 15 minutes should be, that's why. That's why it looks a bit fucked up. Yeah. My head's still in the corner. Reason why is just like the charts are kind of a bit funky right now. So that's the mid range. That's that range high. That's the mid range. That's 75% of the range. I'm gonna bring it inside here, and that's the 25% of the range, and that's the range low, right? Then we've got this level here, which is the weekly range low. Then we've got this level here, which is the previous all-time high. Okay, so we've got a few things here, a few lines. We're just going to focus in level to level, right? It's turning over now, actually. Yeah, I'm going to enter a short, actually. I'm going to compound on that position. Yeah, I'm kind of on that position right now. I'll talk about it right now. I know what I'm talking about here. Yeah, fucking let's go, man. Let's fucking send this down now. I literally just compounded a position right now, and I'll talk about it in a second, okay? So, which is why I was like, give me a second, I just need to monitor something. Yeah, so we're looking at these, a few things here. Oh, fuck off. Fuck's sake. Monday's high is there. That's it. So, let me just change the colour on this one actually. I'm going to make this as that colour. This colour here, and I'm going to get orange, and that's the weekly range. There we go. I think that's much more nicer now, isn't it? There we go. That makes more sense now. All right. So this is what's happening, right? Price has been within the Monday's range. Okay. Oh, that's not nice. Price has been within Monday's range. Okay. Hasn't done anything else. It's capped between the high of Monday and the low of Monday and the mid of Monday. That's all it's been doing. It's consolidating this area here. I would have liked to take out this stop over here as a distribution breakdown and go a lot more lower, but it hasn't done so. Not a problem. We can still play it as it comes. Now, looking at this, right? I now need to understand what is happening and how do I play it as it comes. We're now stuck within this range here, right? At the same time. What is capping the market on the downside, right? Like, what's stopping the market from thinking like, what's happening? We like two things in terms of a view, right? Like we said, we broke out of it. We've been range bounding within the range for so long. We broke out of it, and could we get a retest of here? We can retest here. We can retest here. We retest there, wherever the fuck, or even over here, and then go for an expansive move. We don't know. We just play it level to level, okay? So now I'm looking at this, right? And I'm like, look, the price action tonight is telling me that this is looking kind of shit, though, isn't it? Right? If I just do that, that's yeah. Let's focus on this area here, right? It looks kind of shit. I'm like, what's capping the market on the downside? So you see this low over here, right? This low there. You can see that has been resistance, right? Just off this. Support, deviation, support, smash down, and then we've come into some sort of, is this a deviation now? How is it a deviation if we start breaking down below it? This, to me, will be a trigger to level, right? I can put a stop loss over here because we're playing within, 1 minute. Yeah, that's it. Because we're playing within the SR, right? From this SR to this SR. That's when that happens. That's perfectly fine, right? And the fact is, right? If you look at it this way, that's a thing. Where would I be wrong? I'm looking at shorts, right? I mean, it's broken out, and we can come back into here as a retest, and it's all good, happy days. And if we hold above it, right, if we do something like this, hold above it, reclaim this, we just play back up higher, not a big deal, and wait for the breakout on Monday's thingy. But the fact, which I don't really like so much, is that you see this thin move over here on Monday, we haven't really tested it. Liquidity is resting over here. Price is getting heavy and it's turning over. And the fact that price is getting heavy, you can see it, it's just turning over slowly. High, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. It's just turning over. It's not looking good. To me, it's like mid-range. Once we lose the mid-range, we go a lot more lower. So I'm looking at a bearish scenarios, right? So that's what I'm looking for as a first little trade going on there. Because this here area here is consolidation. Does that make sense, everyone? Yep. Does that make sense, everyone? So Dean's out. Take care, my brother, and enjoy your meal as well. So price come into here. If price come into here, then let's see what happens. How many times are we gonna tap mid-range before we start losing it? And when it loses it, right, then I'll be like, all right, cool. Let's just see how we react. If we get below this level here, this level, what is this so important? Previous all-time high back in 2018. But then I look to compound this position, playing it back within the range, because then within the Monday's mid-range to the Monday's low. That'll be target 1, and that'll be target 2. And I'll leave a little bit to see if we can squeeze into the weekly range high. And that's the short scenario. That's the short scenario, playing it from where we are. Confirmation for me to enter will be if you don't want to enter here, no problem, and you want to be more safer, I'd say you can actually enter on a breakdown below this level here. This 1440 is really important because we can come into it, hold support, reclaim the mid-range, and carry on going higher. Right? As simple as that, and that's what it is. You're playing it level to level. Okay, that's Ethereum. BTC, that's the bearish play. If I'm looking for the bullish play, it's this now. Right, so I've got some levels already. Let's delete all this. Let's talk about the pullback scenario. The pullback scenario, right, is that it comes back into here that we discussed, right, and it can do whatever it wants. Come back into this area. Once it holds in, I think it holds up. Fuck off. So it comes back into this area. It's a range bound environment that we should discuss over there. But once it comes back into the 1440 level, holds above it, reclaims the mid range. That to me is my trigger to long, my invalidation for short-term targets going to range high, because we are holding this again. Invalidation on the time frame is very dependent on what you're looking at, right? So if I'm looking to go long, right, I'm wrong here, because if we come back down, right, then we're looking to break down. Why unless it's a stop run. If it's a stop run, it's a stop run. It happens on odd occasion. But I'm certain this one now, because this is a key level, it should hold us support. Should hold us support, and we shouldn't be taking out these lows here. All right. So I have a stop loss over here, and I'm working back level to level, going back to target 1, target 2. I'll say, well, target 1 is here, target 1, target 2, target 3. Done. And that's the trade. Does that make sense there? That's the pullback scenario. Or you can just say, you know what, fuck you. I just want to hold it over here, right? I just want to come back over here, hold it. If it doesn't come into this area or this area, and it comes straight into the 75%, no problem. It's now showing, and it takes at this high. Let's say it takes at this high here, which is the market structure is bearish. Remember, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Well, let's say that's the lower high and lower low. But if we take at this, then that means, so hang on a second, magnet price has now become up to here. Because not only do we support the mid-range, it's showing bullish market structure. So if it does something like this, right, hold above it, I'll just play back into the range high. Well, targeting over here and targeting over there. We get a breakout, we play the breakout up higher to that $1,700, right? And that'll be the next set of targets there. And that's the Ethereum thingy, longs and shorts. Does everyone understand that? Really short, really simple. It's not much to talk about to be honest, because price is just literally just stuck, you know. It's stuck and it's doing whatever the fuck it wants to do, and there's nothing we can do about it. But just play the game as it comes. Any questions? Ask your questions. I just need to go pee. All right, I'll be back in a bit. Alright guys. Cool, everyone understands then, yeah? Let's have a look. Morning Mark, good to have you here. MATIC and short, now I'm looking for another sick guy. Thanks for your thoughts, man. So it's to figure out direction. Yeah, it's always got to figure out direction. Once you understand the direction, you're good to go. That's all it is. But yeah, we'll see what happens now. I've compounded much. Well, no. I've taken not compounded actually. Well, what it was, I've taken it. I've entered again with a more position. Stop loss still the same. I could be wrong. I could be wrong because price can come back here and take me out here. Right. My stop loss at the moment is above. I'll put it here, just to give me a bit of breathing space there. I'm looking for this to be as because I did bring my stops to break even, right? Because I took profits 50% here, 25% over here, 75% over there. What I did was I literally just freaking I saw it come back into this area. Why did I enter the trade? Well, we're finding some resistance of this area here from this low here, right? And to me, that looks to me like, if you look at it, it's a deviation, support, come back down, deviation, break down here. We should be entering this area here. So I'm keen to see how we will react off this area here, because if we find support and hold above it, we're going to go back here and I look to cut the trade, coming back down. But if we come back down here, it's aggressive, it's very aggressive there, happy days then. Ideally what I would have liked it to do is something like, what was the hourly? Let's have a look at the hourly. 1 hour. Yeah, I would have preferred it to come into this area, but I think what it's done, I would have preferred to come off this low here, but what it's done is come off this low here. That's where it's causing issues there, which could turn it over. So, which is why I brought my stop loss back up to here, in case we do something like this, come back into here, takes out the stop off this high here, come back down, break down, and then once we do that, I can compound it back into this area, playing it back down. So, it's a little tricky, but playing it level to level kind of thing. Right then, so it's alt time. Well, let me have a cigarette first before I do some alts. Anything you guys want me to cover? So, what's your TP position size percentages? Don't like. So it depends, and it depends on the trade I'm looking for, right? So for example, like I went to bed yesterday, right, and I was very confident for the mid range. In reality, what I should have done is have 100% target TP off there, but I took 50% in case, because it's a trending market, it's a bearish market overall. In case we do something like that, smash below it and then break down. And I didn't want to miss the trade. I was like, okay, I know like my invalidation should have been a lot more higher, but I was like, I'm happy where I am. I'm just gonna enter the trade as it is. So if I play level to level, I'd like target 1. I'll probably take about 20%. Target 2, I take 30%, like mid range, I'll take like 30% off. So about 50% off, and I'll monitor how it reacts to the mid range. If it starts breaking down, I collapse the trade. If it breaks up and hold, I start looking to compounding upwards as well. And then again, I do another 20% and then 30%. That's the numbers I like to look. I look at 25, yeah, around 25% kind of thing. But the key is to actually take profits. That's the key. So whether you take 50% profit on each level or 20% or whatever, it doesn't really matter. What's important is that you're taking the profit, that's yours. You need to pay yourself. You get that? So, Shaq saying, nice one, brother. You kept it simple, to the point. Appreciate that, man. You got something similar myself. Good one, trader gains. Daniel's asking, can you have a look at MATIC, please? And Holly Ramdam is saying Salt and Nia would be interesting if you don't mind. Okay. So we've got MATIC, Salt and Nia. Let's have a look at MATIC. Look, MATIC. Oh, let me just move this to the side. That's what it is. That's better. There we go. Alright, MATIC has come into this consolidation here. It's a short right now. I mean, I wouldn't enter the short just yet. I would have liked it to come into this area. Alright, let's do the view on MATIC on a higher spectrum. On the day, I missed the short. I missed the short here. I really kind of kicked myself a little bit, but never mind. I'll talk about it in a bit. Delete this for a second. I'm going to bring it back up. What I've got here is a range band environment, right? That's range low, that's range high. And all you can see, right, the deviation to make a new all-time high. I should delete that, I don't need this no more. All-time high, that's a lie. That's not all-time high. The deviation making the all-time high, right? If we were to be bullish, we should have held it as support, take out this high here, and go a lot more higher, but it never did. Instead, it stepped back into the range. The moment it steps back into this range, you've got to ask yourself the question, what the fuck are you doing back in this range? So then, once we go back from below this range, you start seeing that, hang on a second, motherfuckers, you're seeing this bitch going, finding resistance off the mid-range already, off the range high already. That's your trigger. Invalidation is here. Because if we take out this high, we're looking to go a lot more higher. Make sense? Does that make sense? On the invalidation? Right? So that will be your trigger. That could be your trigger, and that'll be your invalidation. Playing it back to mid-range, and then looking for mid-range to go back down to range low. Okay? So you can see the mid-range is held. Resistance, deviations, I mean we've got a deviation there, comes back up, deviations, hold support. It's a lot of deviations. There's a lot of deviations on this one. It's been quite erratic, It's very sporadic that this move has been. But nevertheless, we've come down, taken out these lows over here, and we've come into this area here, and now we step back into we smash into the range, and we're now making our way back down to range low, which means that this is a deviation of the range of this whole range here. Okay, so now we're gonna focus within this area, or you can focus on this area here, because it's so wide. You can't be focusing from mid to low. Because I'm a day trader. Someone asked me, am I a day trader and stuff like that. I do all kind of things. I do scalp, day trades, and swing trades. I commonly do a lot of scalp trading, and I do a lot of day trading as well. These are the ones I find much more comfortable for me. The swing trades is a lot more patience required, and I don't have the patience to deal with, to be honest. So that's the thing. And are you a future trader or spot? I do both. I've got both accounts. I've got money in for example Binance, Mexi, and all that stuff like that. And when I need to buy alts, I'll buy alts. When I don't need to buy alts, I won't buy alts. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at as well. Oh, sorry, we do MATIC, and then we do ETHBTC, because I want to talk about ETHBTC chart as well. I think ETHBTC is showing a breakdown, which is why I'm leaning bearish more than anything else. But anyway, so we're looking at this, right? Then what I could do is from this here, I can split this this quadrant into another quadrant. So you see what I've done there? So I do from the range low to the mid range, and lo and behold, you can see how price has reacted. It's gone the hourly, right? Price has reacted off the mid range from the quadrant. Okay, it's not pinpoint perfect, right? Because obviously, who gives a fuck? But you can see how price start to show its move there. Now we've got a range bound environment here, and price come into the mid range, deviates. So you can see the deviation and finds resistance. We don't take out this high over here and hold above it to go a lot more higher. We start breaking down from the mid range. We come back up, and where do we come back up? We come back up into this block. Can you see that? This is now acting as resistance. We've broken out of this range band play. The question is now, is this, if I do this low here to this high here, right? The mid range will be approximately here. Undeniably, you can see resistance right over here before we sell off, right? Now the question is is this a deviation of that range? If it is, we've got to hold above it, then we can start playing level to level. I said target 1 over here, and I said that's target 2. Break above the mid range, I'll be target 3 at the mid range, and then target 4. That's it. That's the day trade in terms of that. But we need to step into this range here. If we don't step into it, it's not looking good. All right. Then what it looks like, what we could do is something. What we could look like is from here breakdown. We could have a deeper pullback on a breakdown. What I'm interested in looking at is this one here. How does this block react? See this block here? This is going to be an interesting thing. I want to see. So remember, I said target 1 will be here, and then we look for target 2. So if I'm looking for shorts, right? If we get up to here, let it do its thing. The moment we start breaking down, right, I can enter a trade with a stop loss over here, right? But I would say invalidation short term here, because if we take out this high, we start to hold above, and we're going to go for this target here, and then this target there. Okay, so then I can say that's my that would be my first target there. I mean, I wouldn't even take my target over here, right? I'd say because we come into the mid range and that's acting as resistance, I'm expecting that this would go a lot more lower. So I say this would be target 1, target 2, target 3 off here, off these lows here, and then target 4. So it'll be something like this. Let me just draw that out. So that's what I'll be looking to do. So once we get down here, target 1 here, target 2, and then target 3, and see if we can get to target 4. From there, that's my trade done. So I'm looking to see how we react in this block here, around the 90 cents area, 90 to 92 cents. As long as we find resistance here, and I can short it. If we break above it and hold above it, it's a long for me. We'll go back to these areas here. All right, we'll go to look for like a dollar area. Okay, that's MATIC for me as well. Nothing too complicated. Keep it nice and short and simple as well. If we lose this level, then Bob's your uncle. Let's fucking send this motherfucking down back to fucking 10 cents or whatever shit he wants to go to. All right, that's how MATIC's looking to me. But yeah, we'll see. So we'll see how that goes. I do want to touch on ETHBTC quickly as well. ETHBTC, why I'm leaning on bearish is this. So if you look at it's a range bound environment, right? This is what SE has, right? And this is like, mine's a bit different as well. Like it's similar but different at the same time. Okay, so, can you see here, right? This is a 2.5 years worth of 2.5 years worth of consolidation, right? What we had a deviation of here, small deviation here, but it's, see the low here, that's the low, and that's a lower low, because we didn't take out this low over here. Okay, so it was bullish already. Step back into the range, and then we go range high, come back down to mid range, deviates the mid range, falls above it, goes up there. So this is a consolidation. Remember what we said? Consolidation, breakout. It never did a retest. See this retest? There's none. This could be the retest, and then off we go for expansion, right? How deep does it go? Does it come to the mid-range? Which comes to exactly what SC was saying. He's got a target over here, and I'm saying the mid-range at 0.33. That's what I'm looking for as well, right? So we could do something like this. Oh yeah, before we look at what we can do. So we're now stuck in this range over here. So let's focus on this area here first, and then we'll go back into there. So as you can see, right, above the monthly open, it's all good, happy days, not a big deal, right? Made a very small wick of the month, which is cool. I mean, the month ends in about freaking few days actually, not too long left now. So we range bound in this area, high, low to high, high, did a deviation high to low, and we did a deviation of the range, and we step back in the range, and we come back to the mid range, and we're breaking down. We're losing the level that we're losing levels now. If it was to be bullish, what would happen would be something like this, right? So it could have come onto this area here. See this SR there? Oh well, you could say this SR. You can say this SR there really as well. If it's to be bullish, right? What we need to see is that price holds over here, consolidates, gets back above, takes out this high over here, and that's my long trigger for target 1 and then target 2. That'll be my long trigger. At the same time, right? The fact that we've rejected off the mid-range quite sharply and it's got all this fin move, to me it looks like we're going to come back down into this area first, and then from there lose this level, come back down. That's what it looks like to me, right? It looks bearish to me. That fin move is a bit too disgusting. And then you got also this trend line over here. You see this trend line, how it holds, right? Look at this trend line. Support, 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 smash down. Come into this area here, deviates it really quickly, and smash down below. So the trend line tells me that if we were to be bullish, we need to hold above it, reclaim this high over here, and off we go. And that would be target 1 and target 2. We already discussed that. But it's telling me that it's going a lot more lower, which means that we need to start looking for shorts. Especially Ethereum probably be the banging shorts. And that's why I stuck with Ethereum yesterday, because it was a lot more clear to me compared to BTC. Because when I looked at Ethereum, I'm like, hang on a second. We closed below the mid-range. That's not good. We've got all this fin move over here. That's not good. We've got to fucking start filling it up. At least come to here, and then come there, and blah, blah, blah. Now, in terms of the bigger picture, right? We talked about the range already, right? Now, and this is the mid-range, okay? What I'm looking for, that was the consolidation. We got the breakout over here. It's a retest. The retest can have a deeper pullback. It can come up to here, hold above it, and then come back up and keep going. Or it can come back to a deeper pullback into the mid-range, hold above it, and keep going. What SC was showing was this. He's showing this area of consolidation. You see this here? Let me just go right one more. There we go. So you see this consolidation over here? That's an area of consolidation where price has actually been stuck in before we actually made that crazy highs and shit like that. So what is very possible that we could do is something like this. come back down, break down, lose this low over here, come back into this area, and then step back into this level to level, and then it's a full retest of the original consolidation, which is just in the market higher. And that's very plausible, very possible. And if that happens, everything's going down. Elon Musk already talked about fucking, he sold 75% of his Bitcoin. You know, you know what I mean. It's not looking good. 1.2 billion he bought, he sold it at a loss. So that's what ETHBTC showed me, which to me, if that's the case, what ETHBTC showed me is bearishness, at least to minimum targets over here, off here, well, target 1 and then target 2, then we start looking for altcoins, right? Unless proven otherwise, okay? So if I look at, there was another one, someone asked me for Solana. Let's look at Solana quickly. And Solana showed me quite interesting as well. So what I want to focus on is just literally this, this area here. See the orange, oh fuck off. See this orange line over here? This is a range band environment, right? All we had is a deviation, support, comes up there, whole support of the mid-range, smash up there. Clean smash, we come back down to retest and we have a deeper pullback, right? So, but at the same time, we step back into the range. If you step back in the range, what you gotta ask yourself, what the fuck you doing back in the range, right? Makes sense, huh? Fuck that. And so, now we start looking at for what's going on. I mean, I've got a bunch of lines here, I don't know what's going on here, right? So now we start focusing on what is going on over here, right? So if I draw into the hourly, see what's going on. Price didn't come up to the mid-range. Where did it react off? It reacted off this low. See this low here? That's an SR right there. That's a support. Can you guys see it? And let me just make this bigger. Right. That SR there is support, smash down, resistance, deviation. Obviously this is going to be a deviation. So if you were long from the mid-range going up there, I would always say target over here, right? At this area here, that'd be target 1. Well, not target 1. That'd be target 1. That'd be target 2. And that'd be target 3. I always say you take profits at the consolidation, the base of the consolidation, because whatever it does is fucking not good. Because at the moment, right? Let's say that if you held it all the way through, what you'd be looking for is, see this base of the consolidation over here. The moment we lose this level here, you can see right there on the spot, right on the chin, it start making the market structure start turning. See, that was like let's just say that's the high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high. You know, it's doing this, right? It's doing that. So that's what it's doing, right? This, and then come back down, and this, and then now it's making lower lows, right? Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. But you're like, okay, it's still holding this. The moment it takes out this low here, which it does, that's for you to say cut the trade. Market structure shifted. Let's go down on the downside. Now we're saying on the downside, we can still look for bullishness. I mean, what could happen is we've got a trend line over here. Let's have a look. We've got a trend line over here. This bit here, and you can see we held it at support, 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 and it's just shutting down below. What could happen is this is very possible that we can actually do something like this. Hold above it here, come back into this, hold it support, and then go above there. And that was the deviation, right? For me to play the long play, right, is that we need to reclaim that 75% of the range. Hold it at hold that 75% of the range, come into this area here, and I said target 1 over here. Remember what we talked about, like that base of the constellation. Target 1 is over here. It comes into this area there. See what happens if you start breaking down. I cut the trade, right? Because we've got the trend line. I'll cut the trade over here. But if we reclaim, and hold it, that's fine. I go for that's my next target there. That's target 2, and then I see you go for target 3. That's the long plan for Solana. At the same time, you go always remember is that we are in this base over here. The base of what? The high to the mid. That's what we're focused on. Right now, we're playing below here. Okay. So if I were to go to short, how would I short? I already got a blue box there, and price is reacting on that blue box. What is that blue box? Let's have a look. So this was the like an hourly candle, right? An hourly candle. I can't remember. Why I got that. Hours. Oh yeah, it's a 4 hour. It's a 4. Oh yeah, it was on the 4 hours. That's what it was. You can see because like also moving like these these higher caps, right? They grind a bit more. So you got to look at a slightly different higher time frame there. So you see this 4-hour up candle. That is resistance. That is resistance. That is resistance. Come back down, and then once we get back up, once we smash above it, you see that close above on the 4 hours. It's enough for my invalidation. This is my invalidation. If we were to short, my invalidation would be above the blue box, because once we smash above it, we have flip bias. And what happens is it comes back in as a retest, and off it goes. Right. So the bias flip for me to go long. Right. If I was to short it. Now, same principle now. If that was resistance, and that's resistance, and that's resistance, and then became support, if we lose this level, right, we can say that's my trigger, right, because it's now become resistance, right, and that was just a deviation of this, right. Play it back down. I'd say target 1, target 2, target 1, target 2. And then looking to play the mid-range. From the mid-range, whether we lose it and break down, I'll say we can go back further. Going from mid-range to range low. Does that make sense? That's how I'm looking for alt. Really, really simple actually, when you think about it. I mean, like, I broke it down, it made it look simple though. Big C, honestly, yeah, nothing much has changed, to be honest. It's not much. I mean, like, if I lose this low over here, right? I mean, the magnet price to me is going to be here. Lose this low here, target 1. Let's go to target 2. I'll be looking, and then possibly target 3. Looking at Ethereum, did I do the right move? Yeah, I did the right move. I was right on that. I took the trade on the spot with you guys. Yeah, I literally told you when I took the trade on Ethereum, and I told you where my stop loss was as well. So if you guys jumped in, happy days. We're gonna make some more money today. But yeah, everything is bearish, man. Everything looks bearish. ETHBTC says a lot, you know. I hate it. I don't have a signal service, unfortunately. That's what a lot of people is actually asking me. I'm getting that a lot on Twitter. That's why I want to ask you guys, the community. Would you guys be interested in like a private group? That's my question. Would you guys be interested in that kind of stuff? Can we get a quick, so ETHBTC, yeah, ETH's breaking down nicely. Yeah, it is. Same time. Yes, second as well. Boy, you said if it's a signal group, then yeah, I mean, like, a signal group would be more like I'll draw the charts for you guys, right? And I'll say, look, this is a plan, and all you gotta do is just literally follow the plan itself, that kind of thing. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's a matter of time. I just like time at the moment. I don't, because I'm doing renovation. Fucking hell. Because I'm doing renovation, I just don't have the time. I'm struggling with a little bit of time, to be honest. I don't know. I was thinking about $150 or $100 at the top of my head. I want to do $250. So I know that there's a lot of companies that ask for $200, $250. I wouldn't do that. But I said like 100, 150. I think 100 is a good number. I think 100 is a good number. It's a very affordable number, right? But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm in no rush at the moment for private group or whatever. For me to actually do that, I have to commit myself. It then becomes more of a 24/7 job then. Yeah. Hey, does that something that you don't have to go on screen? Of course. Like, because I think when I some of my trades, when I enter longs and shorts and stuff, I actually I post the P&L card on Twitter very soon, pretty soon. But we'll see. But obviously, like the private group, like let's say if I do a private group as well, it's not just going to be a signal service. It's going to be an education content where I actually spend more time than I actually do over here on YouTube to teach you some of these crazy shits, like more shit that you'll ever see. And like, you know, like it's a family-based kind of thing. It's a community. That's why I want to build a community-based kind of structure. I want to build that kind of structure. But again, it's timing is a bit of a tough one. So what's it? Yeah, man, I like this little community. Yeah, Trader Gains. I'll be honest with you, man. This community is kind of lit, man. You guys are fucking sick. make a Telegram channel, only you post your graphs. I was doing that. It's time consuming. Like I said, let this renovation clear off, and then I have more time and I can actually see what's going on. So Chris is asking an important question here. So Deng, what's your advice for someone like me who works Monday to Friday, 8 to 5? Any particular time frame to trade? Really want to make trading work for me, but can't track charts all day, of course. So I look at a lot of the 1 hour and 15 minutes charts, sometimes 5 minutes and 1 minute. Okay, so if you're in like a 9 to 5 job or 8 to 5 job, or you can work during the days, during the nights, whatever. What I would say is go up the time frame. Instead of looking at 1 hour, start looking at the 4 hours. So even on the 4 hours right now, I can start seeing, right, okay, cool. The 4 hours gives me confirmation. Like, let's just say, let's hide all this, right? On the 4 hours, I could enter in, or even 2 hours. 2 hours is actually plenty of time. It's really a lot more cleaner. Because on the 2 hours, it makes things a lot more easier. So look here, well, in terms of longs, right? So let's just say I highlight this block here. So you see this is the last low, right? It's in the market up there. So price come into here, right? Comes back down, holds its support. You see how all that time you had there, you had a few days to actually enter the trade because we're holding support there. Let's say that you enter over here, for example, your stop loss will be here. You don't need to monitor the trade so often because you know your target 1 will be here, and target 2 will then be these highs there, right? That's target 1, target 2, and you can still make gains. Then you say target 3 will be here, right? That's the high. Then once you play the weekly high, oh, what's on? Battery. One second, guys. Just put the camera back on. There we go. Then, once you go to the weekly range high, all you're doing is another block right here. That's that. The moment we break down, you got time to enter. The moment we lose this low over here, so this you can enter over here. Stop loss will be over here. Invalidation is here. You're playing it back down to range low, and then you again, target 1 will be there, target 2 will be there, target 3 will be here, and vice versa. And what happens is we find support off here, and you can re-enter the trade back up, playing it back up there. So what I would say is just change the time frame as well, and I think that's something that is a good point to actually talk about in terms of in terms of how to enter a trade and whatnot, and on for people who doesn't have the time. You know, everyone doesn't have the time to actually sit at the desk. And I'll be honest with you, it mainly was like I sit on my fucking desk all the time. I don't, you know, like I don't really look at the chart all the time. I don't really fucking, you know, like sit here all day like a fucking numpty and just check out what's going on. I just like look at I have my views. I wait for my views to come out, and I just play out as it comes. And then like I do my own thing here and there, and just flick on my phone, just check out like, oh, is it time to short, is it time to long, what's going on? And like 5 minutes, 2-3 minutes gone, turn it off, and I just wait. If I enter a trade, then I have to watch it. But if you're on a higher time frame, you don't have to watch it so often because you know where your invalidation plays. So like if you are someone who wants to trade but you've got work, you can just literally play your stop loss, place it on invalidation zones, because that's when you know you're wrong. So you have more time to not worry about the charts and more time to spend time with your family. Okay. I do have a Telegram. So if you go to Telegram, type in Dank Hub, D-A-I-N-K Hub, you literally will find my Telegram. So I'm gonna start using that a bit more often now. Discord is better, I think. Make separate channels for different things. Yeah, Discord is better, but the thing is, again, you know what it is, RX? I'll be honest with you. Discord is fucking time consuming, man. It's a full-time job. It really is a full-time job to actually run that, unless you have people to run it for you. But then again, the way I see it is like, no offense to anyone else, right? I know there's people who wants to help. I know Hunter, you know, wants to help a lot as well. Same with Nick as well. Good lads. But But if I'm talking about charts, I don't trust anyone's charts but mine. You know what I mean? No disrespect to anyone. I'm not trying to offend anyone here. Don't take it wrong. Or personally, is that I have my view and my experience, and I know why I'm saying what I'm saying. For me to give you this advice, because I know what I'm talking about. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I shut the fuck up. So someone like SE, when he talks, right, when he says something, he's the only guy that I will shut the fuck up and not respond. I'll ask questions, smart questions, because one thing I learned about SC is that if you ask dumb questions, he will fuck you up, right? And I'll ask smart questions like to try to understand something. And he's, you know what, he may not seem like he's a patient guy, but trust me, he's got a bit of patience. He does, right? Like when he does his, he's got his altcoin stream going on today. When he does his Bitcoin for ledgers and stuff like that, like he's very patient with like a lot of you guys as well. So, in terms of like, of him, he's sick, but it's literally just like, I don't, it sounds bad when I say this, I don't trust anyone. I just don't trust anyone's charts as much as I trust mine, because I'm very pedantic. Pedantic means like I'm very anal, I'm very picky on certain things as well. Like, I like my charts to be clean as possible as well, and that's why I try to dumb it down, so when I'm explaining it to you guys, it makes sense. If there's like loads of lines and whatnot, and it's just like freaking circles and stars and ponies and shit, you're like, what the fuck is going on? You set and forget orders? No, I don't set orders. Sometimes, very rarely, if it comes to a key level. A key level is when I'm gonna set orders. I work 7 days a week now, getting ready for. Fair play, man. Keep pushing yourself, man. Shout out to all you brothers and sisters out there who are actually working hard as well, because we all want a better life for our family and friends, and our family and kids and shit. Private chat, Telegram, Signal, education service is great. Not that time consuming. Yeah, it's true. It's not that time consuming, but then the thing is the experience. To me, it's about giving you guys the experience. So, like, let me ask you this: how many influencers out there take their time every single day, Monday to Sunday, and just chat to you guys? I don't really know anyone. I'll be honest with you. I don't know anyone. If you do, let me know. I would like to actually follow them too as well. That's number one. Number two is the education I'm giving you, the data I'm giving you, the concept I'm giving you as well. That's all time consuming as well. But I want you to experience that so you guys can learn. So by learning this stuff, right, it's for your own benefit. It's nothing to do with me. It just takes some time on my day, But I don't mind giving my time to you guys because you guys appreciate it. But doing a Telegram channel, it removes the concept of you guys communicating with me if you got questions. And it becomes a very like a standstill, like a robotic kind of way. Discord I like, but the problem with Discord is it becomes very hectic when if the group grows to like, let's say like 10 to like 1,000, for example. I'm just throwing random numbers, but that's 1,000 people there chatting shit, like chatting a lot, charting a lot as well. And then to go through all of them on my own, it's hard. Unless what I do, or what I think I have to do eventually, is have people that like I train, like one-to-one mentoring or whatever, train them so they're able to understand that and cover for me when I'm not around. I don't know. It's a lot of work. It's tough. It really is tough. But we'll see. But that's it from me, guys, man. Any questions before we head off? No, doesn't look like I've got any questions there. Oh, that's enough Coke for the day. Appreciate that, man. Really appreciate your time. Yeah, see, Derry's saying it. The YouTube makes learning better and not Telegram to just set up a trade. For example, like I used to do this myself on Telegram. I revolutionized Telegram, and I've noticed some people are trying to copy this idea as well, which is not a problem. Like, and I've been told I copy them. Be something original. Shut the fuck up, you little bitch. Anyway, that's another story. It kind of pissed me off a little bit. That, like, when someone tells you that you do something original, and you're like, hang on a second, I've done stuff. I've revolutionized other things, other concepts as well, and then they tell you like do something original. You're like, the fuck are you talking about? You're not doing anything original yourself, mate. You're doing the same thing as other people has done. Crypto really is like literally like one of you guys one day it's gonna happen, right? Is that you guys are gonna learn all this stuff and become really really good at trading, and you're gonna use the same shit that I'm doing, right? But then you're doing it your style. Then when you do your style, am I gonna say, oh yeah, you copy me? Shut the fuck up, man. You said, dang, you had your time. Sit down, relax, right? Time to retire. Sip on that fucking coke that you're sipping on, right? And chill the fuck out, right? That's what you're gonna say to me. Makes sense. And what you do your own style. You have your own fan base. You have your people who are enjoying the concept and the content and blah blah blah. And at the same time, all you're doing is where you can build on top of that. You're building on top of that. But I used to do it on Telegram, right? And this is how I revolutionized Telegram in terms of charting. I did my chart, then I did a voice note to actually explain the chart itself. So I didn't see anyone do. Oh, Bitcoin is sending off. There we go. Fucking let's send this back on. Bitcoin is sending down. Let's see, Ethereum's going back down as well. Alhamdulillah. Let's bring up all my lines. Right then, we just need to break this there, and then off we go. So I do want to see this fill. I'm so happy I entered the trade. I'm going to compound below here. Once we get back below here, I'm going to compound, playing it back to here and then into here, potentially into this area here, and we'll see what happens there. Thank you, Ego. Have a good day, man. You take care of yourself. Eric, Visa stock, Ethereum, ACB. Whoa, that's a lot of thing there. I don't know what's going on. But take care, trader gains. Look after yourself. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. It's 12:08. I'm gonna head off as well. I've got a few things to sort out, and I'll call it a day. Thank you so much for being on the stream. Appreciate all your time, everybody. Shout out to all your brothers out there. Smash the likes if you haven't smashed the likes, and yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.